Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you're doing great and taking care of yourself. Today, we are going to talk about another important concept in our continuation of journey of learning SQL for beginners. And that concept is none other than joins. Have you ever imagined that you can combine the data from two different tables based on certain conditions and get the desired result of it? And this all glory thing is achievable by using joins. The SQL provides us different types of joins which help you to basically get the desired result what you are looking for. In this video, we talk about in detail what are these joins, what are different types of joins, and we will be also looking on hands-on session for all these different types of joins available for you to retrieve the data based on certain conditions. So without much further delay, let's get started. So friends, let's first talk about in detail what are these joins and what are different types of joins available for us to get the data from two or more tables. And then we will be having a demo of each and every join what we talk in detail. So what are joins in SQL? So joins are used to connect rows from two or more tables using a column they share, and that can be an ID or a name. So let me give you a simple example. I have a table called as employee table. I have a table called as a department table. In the employee table, I have employee ID, employee name, department ID, and I have and in the department table I have the department ID, department name. Those are the two columns. Now if you see in employee table, I have the department ID which is shared in the table called as department. So I can basically combine these two, where I can say select star from employee table comma department table, where employee dot department ID equals to department ID. So wherever the department ID matches in the both tables, it will give me a result. So that's what is the join. It has helped me to retrieve the data from both the tables based on the condition, which is a department ID, and they should have the same column in employee table as well as department table. Let's go to the next line. Instead of looking each table separately, joins let you to combine them and see all the related info in one place. So that's what. So if I want to see the data of employee and the department, instead of doing select star from employees, select star from department, I will combine these two tables based on the column they share, and I will have the data from both tables at one go. So what are different types of joins available for us in Oracle SQL? So first join is the inner join. The old legacy name of the inner join was the equi join. So what does this join does? Returns only the rows that have matching values in both tables. The next join is the left join, or it's a left outer join. What does this join does? Returns all the rows from the left table and matches from the right. So it will, irrespective whether there is a match between left or left table versus right table, it will return all the rows from the left table. Now let's read the next line. If there is no match, you will still see the left side, but the right side will show null. So that's what I was talking about. Irrespective whether there is a match between the left table versus the right table, left outer join will return all the rows from the left table. Now, what is right join or a right outer join? It's a reverse of left outer join. So it will return you all the rows from the right table plus the rows which have match between the right and the left table. Now, what is full outer join? Return all the rows from the both tables irrespective there is a match in any one of the table. If there is no match in one table, it returns the null values for the columns of the other table. The next join is the cross join, and be careful when you use the cross join. Combines every row from one table with every row from other. Let me make it very simple. The table A has 5 rows, 1 2 3 4 5, and table B has 5 rows, yellow, purple, orange, blue, red. When I use these two tables, it will give me 25 rows because it's nothing but acting as a multiplication where it is basically combining every row. So one gets into blue, red, orange, green, purple, and that's so it returns 5 rows, then goes for the second, returns 5 rows. So you will like this have 25 rows. The last bonus join is the self join. A table joins with itself. A classic example asked in every interview of SQL is I want to fetch the employees where I want to fetch the name of the manager for the employees. So you will basically, there is a table called has an employee table. You have employee ID, you have a manager name, and you have a manager ID. So now I want to basically retrieve the manager name of that employee. So I'm going to basically use the same table. Don't worry, we are going to look that in our demo session. But let's first understand the syntaxes of all these joins. So the first syntax of inner join is select column 1, column 2 from table 1, inner join on table 2, or on table 1 column equals to table 2 dot column name. The equi-join, what we were talking about, the legacy team, where we used, instead of writing an inner join, we used to directly use the select table table 1 dot column name, table 2 dot column name from table 1, table 2, where table 1 dot column name equals to table 2 dot column name. Remember, we talked about the example called as the employee table and the department table, where the department ID which department ID in department table as well as department ID in employee table share the same column name, and that's where based on that condition now we are retrieving the rows from both the tables. The left outer join, it's simple. Instead of replacing the inner join, you will write the left outer join. Select column 1, column 2 from table 1, left outer join on table 2, and then you will give the column name which is matching in both the tables. Right outer join, instead of left outer join, you will use the right outer join. Select column 1, column 2 from table 1, right outer join on table 2 on table 1 dot column name equals to table 2 dot column name. What is full outer join? Instead of replacing the right and left, now you will just write a full outer join. The syntax remains the same. Select column 1, column 2, so on table 1, full outer join on table 2 on table 1 dot column name equals to table 2 dot column name. What is the cross join? Instead of replacing the all you need to replace is full outer join or a left outer join or a right outer join or a inner join has a cross join, and here we are not not combining the columns, right? Or it's not basically giving a result based on the column. You are just using column 1, column 2 from table 1, cross join has table 2. What is the self join? Remember, I was talking about this is the syntax. Select a dot column name comma b dot column name from table name A. Okay, so we have given an alias name to the table, to our table, and join table name B. So we have given two different aliases to the same table, and then we are basically checking on the column which they share. On a dot common underscore column equals to b dot common column. So that's what we are doing in the self join. I hope you got a theoretical understanding of what are joins and what are the syntaxes of the joins and what each and every join does, or it is required to do. So now, without much further delay, let's get our hands dirty with a demo session on the joins. So friends, I'm going to basically use the online compiler to show you the demo. As you can see on the screen, we have three tables. One is the customer table, one is the order table, and the other one is the shippings table. The one common thing in each of these tables, if you see, is the customer ID. The customer table has the customer ID, the order table has the customer ID as well, and the shippings has the customer. So that's the common column to connect all these three tables. So without much further delay, let's go into our first demo to see what all data we have in all these three tables, and then we will be using our first join to fetch the data from the customers and the order table. So all I need to do here is right here select star from customers as well as select star from orders, select star from shippings, right? And let me just run the SQL. And you see we have got the data for all the three tables. One is the customer ID, the order table, as well as the shipping table. And remember, the drawback here is we are doing select star from each individual tables. Now I want to view this as one, and that's where the joins comes into the picture, which will fill this gap, right, to view the data at one place. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically use select star from customers. I want the name of a customer, what order he is holding. So I'm going to use select star from customers, and our first join, which is inner join to the orders table, has on. And remember, in these two tables, the customer ID is the common, which we see here in the customer table as well as here, right? So I'm going to make an inner join. So I'm going to use c dot customers, sorry, C is for the customers. So C dot customer ID equals to O dot customer ID. And I'm going to basically write here the selected columns, which is the first name, okay, comma, O dot item, okay, comma, C dot customer ID has customer ID, comma, O dot customer ID has order customer ID. Okay, I'm just adding the order to make sure that I know this customer ID is fetched from the uh, order. And let's just remove this. Okay, and let's just execute now. And if you see, we have got the output where the customer ID has been matched with the order customer ID. So we have John uh, having a keyboard customer ID 4. John is also having a mouse. The David is having the monitor customer ID for the David is 3. The order customer ID is also 3. Remember, the customer tables were having 5 records. So let's see this. Select start from customers. Okay, and let me again run it. And if you see, we were having 1 2 3 4 5, which is Betty, but the Betty is not there in the order table. So that's why it just returned us the match values for the customer and the order. I hope you got an understanding of how to use the inner join. Now let's use the same thing with the equi-join, which is the legacy. All I'm going to do here is comma o comma orders o, and I'm going to write here where this equals to this, and let's run. It works. So that's the difference between the inner join, which is the newer way to write, but the legacy way is much simpler, and I use that very frequently. So all we have done is we have combined two tables, customers, orders, and then we are basically using a where clause to make sure wherever the matching condition is, display me that record. And the definition of the inner and the equi-join is same, returns all the rows where the value, where the column matches, right? So that's what is the inner and the equi-join. Let's now go on the left, right, and the full outer join. Let's talk about the left outer join, the right outer join, and the full outer join. As you can see on my screen, I have selected all the rows from the customers and the order table. And in the customers table, we have customer ID 1 2 3 4 5, which is John, Robert, David, John, Betty. Okay, and in the orders table, we have customer ID 4 3 2 1. There is no 5 customer ID in the orders table. So let's now execute the left outer join. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically do here customers, select star from customers, left outer join orders o on, okay, c dot customer id, okay, equals to o dot customer id. So give me the rows where the both customers ids are matched, which is left table matching the right table. Okay, and I'm going to select here customer id. I'm going to select here c dot first name. I'm going to select here o dot order id, o dot item. So let's see what is the output. Also let me know in the comments until the time I execute this query. So let's run 1 2 3. And if you see, we have got all the rows from the customer table, which is 1 2 3 4 5 customer IDs. All the IDs have been displayed from the customers table, as well as each has display us the customer ID where it has matched with the uh, orders table customer ID. So we got John, we got Robert, it was there for It was also we got John, we got David also, but we got Betty in this case. Okay, because we have used the left outer join to display us all the records from the left table. Also, if you see here, it's nothing displaying against the order ID and the item, because the Betty has not purchased any item or does any item, right? So that's where it's showing as blank, or you can treat it as a null. Okay, so that's the left outer join. The reverse of left outer join is the right outer join. So it will display us all the records from the order table, and as well as the records which have matched between customer and the order tables. Uh, uh, Kindly let me know the syntax or the output of what would be the output of the customer and the orders table when I use the left outer join as well as the full outer join. Let's now talk about the cross join. So friends, let's talk about the self join. But before we get into that details, let's recorrect the definition of the self join. So self join is nothing but a join where tables join to itself. That sounds to be a weird, but in general, this join is used when you want to compare the data for the same table to find any relationships between that. In the example which is shown on the screen, what I'm doing is I am basically want to find or get the details where the user, the customer is residing in the same country. So what I've done is I've basically used customers table has two allies, C1 and C2. And if you see, I am putting a join where C2 on uh, C1 country equals to C2, and C1 customer ID is less than C2 customer ID. I don't want to have the duplicates, that's why I have used less than, and then I have used an order by to sort it based on the country as well as customer ID. I can also use ascending here. So the moment I execute this, you will see I have got the customer ID David, which is 3, and the customer ID 4, which is John. They both are residing in UK. The customer ID 1, which is John, and the customer ID 2, which is Robert, they are residing in the country called as USA. So that's where I have established or establish a relationship to find which customers are residing in the same country, which is UK and US. So if I execute here, which is not equal to, okay, and let's run this, you will see 2 times John. Okay, one is David John, one is John David, and the other one is John Robert and Robert John. So I've got duplicate records. So what I've done is I've used less than to eliminate that duplicate, and now I have only 2 records, which is David and John, where David and John resides in UK and John and Robert resides in US. So that's how you can use the self join to get the comparison within the same table and the relationship between that data. I hope until now you have got an understanding of what are joins, which and how to use the joins. If you find this video has been really helpful and has brushen up your concepts specifically related to inner join, left outer join, cross join, as well as self join. Then do not forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button and share with your friends and colleagues who are looking or preparing themselves for the SQL interview. Until then, take care. Bye bye. So what is the cross join? If you remember, it compares each row from the table 1 with the table 2. So in our case, it would be select star from customers C, comma, or no, we will write customers cross join orders. Okay, so let's see what would be the output of it. Okay, oh sorry, I know I put here C is, I should have put here O. Okay, and now let's run. So if you see, we have got the uh, 25 rows, right? Because there were 5 rows in the customer table as well as the 5 rows in the order table. So how can you verify? It is count star from customers. Okay, let's just execute this. Okay, you will see 5 here, and similarly I'm going to execute here orders to see what is the count of orders. So it's 5. Now 5 into 5, it should be 25 records. So what it has done is it has done the customer ID with the order ID, which is customer ID 4. So it has just scanned one by one. So that's why you see 5 times 1. Every row is compared with each row in the right table. So it has done that 5 times. Then it has done 5 times 2 with all 4, 4 3 2 1. It has also done 3. So let's just use here count star and see what is the output. And you see we have got 25 rows, so it has compared 1. So the customer ID 1 is compare against order 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the orders IDs are. So there are 5 records in the orders table. So 1 is compared with each and every record in the order table, which is order 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 times we have got that. Then it goes for the second customer ID, does 5 times, third, and so on. So remember, whenever you want an uh, multiplication of 2 rows and you want to compare every row with each row in the right table, that's where you use the cross join. It is called as a Cartesian product also. Now let's talk about the self join in a minute.